so we're recording that. I'm a pediatrician, and I actually was telling somebody today in the office, I have been in the field of pediatrics for 25 years, and I don't feel that old, but I guess I am. And so I have seen a lot of changes over all the years, and one of the things that changed me was that I first started practicing in Colorado, where a lot of people were interested in more natural routes of getting healthy and wanted to keep their children off antibiotics and a lot of the things that we learned how to do in training. I had to find alternatives to help take care of my patients. So I started learning nutritional, that nutrition was the foundation, and I started learning alternative remedies way back, over 20 years ago. So when
I'm in there,
I was, Celine, you can probably push mute all. And so when I came to Jacksonville, I had a little bit of a different crowd, people that really needed to learn a little bit more about their health. And when I started my practice about almost 17 years ago here, I was inundated with natural products and things like that. And so there's this, skepticism that we have about natural supplements, and we want to be really careful about them as physicians. So I kind of come to you with that background, being a good scientific skeptic, but being open-minded. And so we want to introduce you really to this healthy living revolution. I'm really excited about it because I feel like in the state of the world today, if we don't take ownership of our own health, then it's not going to be done for us. There's a lot of things that we know as folks today, just even with the internet and learning things, you don't know what's true necessarily, but you get that sense that maybe the government doesn't know everything. Your doctor maybe not even know everything. So that's what this is about, is like a community of people that care about that and care about spreading the real scientific information about how to get healthy and how to do it in a fun way with a community of people that's really supportive. So I'm going to share my screen, and those of you, I'll talk you through it if you can't see my screen, but y'all online will be able to see it. And we'll go through some slides here, and then we will come out and sort of halfway through and talk again, and then go back in, do a couple more slides. So we should be all done by 9 o'clock. I hope that's okay with everybody. It should be fun. So here's my screen, and I'll start the slideshow here. Can everybody see that?
No.
Celine, can you, I should push the share screen button. Now can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, good. So everybody should be able to see that, and let's get started. So, what's the healthy living revolution, right? I mean, basically it's just a group of people who really have joined together to take healthy back. That's a hashtag you can use. We're really about taking healthy back, because it really matters more than what you look like in yoga pants. It really matters how healthy you are on the inside, right? And this group of people is a lot like I am, and a lot like Celine, is that we're just tired of watching this nation's health go downhill. And we don't have to do that anymore. We're really looking at taking our own health back, our family's health back, our communities and our schools and our country's health back. So that's what's really exciting, and we're glad to share this with you. I think back to when I was a kid, and healthy living used to be really simple. We had a big garden outside. We would, oh my gosh, the fresh food that we used to pick. We would play outside until it got dark, and if we didn't, we were sent back outside, basically. And there's not, a hose that I didn't drink out of probably in the neighborhood. And, we went to bed when we got tired. And I remember even being put to bed before it was dark. Hated that, but that was when you needed to go to bed so you could get up and be refreshed in the morning. But now it's a whole different world. That has transitioned in the last 50 years to a lot of convenience foods being, the easy thing. I had a dad tell me today in the office that he said, you know what, it's just easier to get that Wendy's 4 for $4 or something. I don't even know what that is, but I guess you could get 4 burgers or something for less money. And when people have tight budgets, it's easy to feel like they're feeding their family when really it's not nourishing food. It just fills you up, right? And then as far as playing outside goes, we've gone from playing games outside to playing games online and inside. And that is a lot to do with safety issues in a lot of areas, but it's also just kind of easy. So, that's the way the world is today. And instead of drinking water, we generally drink things out of bottles that have been man-made in some way. So we're really drinking a lot of calories these days. And we tend to part of this is growing up, right? We overextend ourselves and then we get tired. So we're a lot of us walking around sleep deprived these days, which is really not good for your health. So one of the things that's really huge is that in order to be healthy, we have to really armor ourselves against these huge challenges that we have that are different about the world today. And I'm just going to show you two of those. One is that the rate of environmental toxins is increasing. I mean, probably you would all agree we're living in a pretty chemical world, but we don't see these chemicals. So sometimes it's hard, and you can see the arrows going up. You don't even have to look at all these pieces, but see the arrows going up. That means the pollution that's going into the air, and then they go into the clouds, and then it actually comes down into the water, into the ground. The farms that are fertilizing, and the cows, the cow farms that are fertilizing and creating methane, and that all runs off into the water and into the ground so that it's being recycled through the humans. Unfortunately, we're getting a lot of those toxins in our system. And I get frustrated because I think that we as individuals can't help really fix this, but if our government could get a clue and get away from the lobbyists, that's the last political thing I'll say, but really they could help our health a lot. So unfortunately, this is a trend that is not being helped right now. And so it's just a really important thing to be aware of, because this leads to all sorts of health issues for us, because those toxins tend to hang out in our bodies. And the other big trend, wouldn't you agree, that food quality is decreasing? If you think about a grocery store, all around the outside perimeter of the store is where all the refrigerators are, and that's where the freshest food is. But the middle of the store has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger over the years. And if you look at a label, a lot of times you can't even pronounce all the things that are contained in that food, with all these preservatives and synthetic and artificial ingredients, pesticides, trans fats, artificial colors, all these things are in food. And I just want to point out, one of the most important things is that there's less nutrients in food today. And I just want to talk about that for a minute. Phytonutrients is the name for plant nutrients. That's all it is. And what they're meant to do from the plant world is to come into our bodies in lots of micronutrient form and really help us detoxify and protect our bodies. So if you see this page of fine print over here, if you're on the phone, there's a page of just columns and columns of fine print of phytonutrients, nutrients that are in this apple that's on the slide. And if you counted all the nutrients in an apple, it wouldn't be limited to this one page. This is like 400. There's actually 10,000 nutrients in an apple, so it would go on for 27 more pages, they say. So compare that to a multivitamin, which, basically scientists in a lab have decided that they've discovered vitamins and discovered minerals, and the ones that they've discovered, they will put into a multivitamin. But that usually numbers 20, 30, maybe 50 at the most. And the rest of the thousands have been just thrown by the wayside, and we assume that they don't do anything, but they really do. We only need little bits of all of these things working together, like they come in fruits and vegetables, to work the best in our body. So they say we have pretty expensive urine when we take multivitamins, because a lot of that higher level, we don't need it, so we just pee or poop it out. But with vitamins from plants, our bodies know what to do with those. And so that's the difference. You cannot expect a scientist to make a multivitamin for you that's perfect, because the plants are what we grew up with on this planet, and that's what we know how to use best in our bodies. I hope that makes sense. So then this is a picture of Juice Plus and all the ingredients in Juice Plus, which if you look at the colors that are there from left to right, you see kind of a rainbow. And that's really what your body's looking for, because if you added up all the nutrients in all these fruits and vegetables that you see here, you would probably get closer to like 25,000. That's the estimate of the number of nutrients in fruits and vegetables for us that are put on the planet for us to eat. And imagine trying to eat each of these things every day. You can't do that. To find them fresh and ripe, it's almost impossible. One of the reasons that there are less nutrients in our foods today, in our produce today, is because the farming methods have, even organic farming, have the produce picked before it's ripe. And the ripening, as you know, if you've ever tasted a unripe tomato, maybe you got at the grocery store, versus a ripe tomato that you picked off your own vine in your own backyard, there is no difference in the taste. It tastes so much better. And it is that way because the nutrients at the end of ripening really come into the plant, to the tomato or the plant food that you're eating. So because we're picking things unripe and shipping them, they really don't have as much nutrition. So it's important to eat as many fruits and vegetables as you can, buy local, try and get the ripest produce that you can and the most organic and all of that. But truly, we're supposed to be eating so many servings of fruits and vegetables, 7 to 13, so 9 to 13 for adults, men or more, pregnant women or more. Athletes, they estimate maybe even need 20 servings a day. And that's supposed to be vine ripened, but that's not really happening. So what we see is we have health issues that are really a whole food deficiency, not a vitamin deficiency. So when I first heard about Juice Plus, it was pretty much too good to be true. I thought, how do they get all these fruits and vegetables into these little capsules or gummies? It didn't make sense to me at all before, but thank goodness for Celine being very persistent as a mom and leading me through, holding my hand and being patient with me for months and months before I really got what Juice Plus was because of the research. And I don't know if I'm going to show a slide here of the research, but I want you guys to see that. This is next. So now a photo of the Tower Garden, which some people love their Juice Plus. Most people do. But some people also love to garden. I don't know if any of you guys are out there that love to garden. My parents had that big garden when they were kids. Celine says she does. And when I was a child, I really had fresh produce all the time. So I wanted to garden when I was a grown-up. And it worked pretty great in Colorado, except it only could be like 3 months out of the year. And the rest of the time it was frozen. And so then I moved to Jacksonville. I thought, great, I can garden. But then the bugs and the heat and the weeds and everything got to me. And I just kind of gave up. I was so sad. And then I heard about the Tower Garden. We have 2 of these now and love to grow this fresh produce on our back porch year round. We can, in Florida, do it year round, but anybody can do it year round because there are grow lights that can hook on for people that live in cold climates so they can grow inside year round. So I wanted you to know that that's one thing that the Juice Plus company also has for trying to get you to eat as much fruits and vegetables as you can. And it's a really fun way to do it. You don't even have to have a green thumb. You can have a black thumb and still do it.
And that's me.
And that's Celine.
Yes, I have never gardened a day in my life. So it was at first a challenge in my mind to think of how am I going to garden? And there's no dirt in the Tower Garden, which is really neat.
Right. No dirt and no weeds. And generally no bugs because bugs don't
reels, which is really, really nice.
Say that again.
The next slide here is about the Juice Plus Complete Shakes. And I actually have been doing these for the last 15 years. They are ridiculously delicious. That's all I can say. Both of my kids are super picky eaters, and they welcome doing a shake in the morning, and our family does them every single morning. And what I love about the Juice Plus Complete Shakes is that they are what they call low glycemic index, meaning they don't bump up your blood sugar. There's a lot of fiber in there that keeps it putting out into your blood sugar very steadily. And I love that it's gluten and dairy free, and it's vegan and non-GMO. A lot of us now these days are really worrying about GMO foods, and we really want to give our kids the most clean food as we can. And like I said, it's vegan, so it's a plant-based protein blend. And can you imagine your child getting 14 plants per day for breakfast in a chocolate smoothie that tastes like a Wendy's Frosty? And I've never had a kid refuse these shakes because it's a great shake for them before they go to school. They don't get that crankiness like kids that eat cereal, whose blood sugar goes flying up, and then by 9 o'clock, the teacher is complaining because these kids are irritable and tired and putting their head on their desk to sleep. For me as an adult, I love this shake. I use it as a pre-workout because I love that I can drink this shake. I can be full for about 4 hours, but I don't have that yucky, like full feeling that you get when you do like cereal and those kind of, and milk. So I mix mine with almond milk, put a little bit of almond butter in there, half a banana, and I am off. And Dr. Sears calls this a brainy breakfast for your kids because you send them off to school with all of this plant protein and all of the carbs and the fiber and the right composition for their little bodies. So we'll go on to the next slide. So when you're doing the Juice Plus and when you're doing the Trio Blend and the Juice Plus shakes, believe it or not, you're flooding your body with 45 whole foods per day. So can you imagine, my kids have been on Juice Plus going on 15 years, our entire family. Can you imagine the difference between my kids' bodies and their friends who have been eating chicken nuggets, French fries, and maybe their vegetable is some canned green beans, canned corn, whereas my kids have been having, look at this picture, they've been having black currants, they've been having cabbage, kale, peas, papaya. I mean, all these things in the proper proportion and in a whole food kind of way. So I love the fact that my kids have been so healthy and doing this plant-based diet. Again, next one. So what I love about Juice Plus, it is absolutely unique. It's nothing, there's nothing else on the market that's like it. And I wish I had a bottle here to show you. On the bottle of Juice Plus, because it is food, it actually has a nutrition facts label. So if you were to go to your grocery store and pick up a bag of carrots and look on the back, it would say nutrition facts. And that's the exact same label that's in all of our stuff. There is no supplement label. And supplements are on vitamins. And remember, we are nothing but food. Like I told you before, I love the fact that Juice Plus is dairy-free, it's gluten-free, and it's all the phytonutrients that Dr. Miles was telling you about. Just imagine if there's 10,500 nutrients in one apple. Can you imagine the nutrients in 44 other whole foods? One thing that's really important to me too is that it's NSF certified. So when you look on the bottle, you'll see NSF certification. This is one of the largest and most stringent independent labs that say that what we say is in Juice Plus is actually there. So it is that third-party quality assurance that you're actually getting a quality product and you're actually getting the fruit and vegetable powders that is stated on the label. And then like Dr. Miles was telling you, the clinical research. As a nurse, that is exactly what got me to try Juice Plus. My kids were always really sick, and my daughter had severe eczema and food allergies. And not only did she have food allergies, but she also had chemical sensitivities. So I know Brian, my friend that's on here today, remembers the days of my daughter just literally itching her skin off to the point that she couldn't sleep and we couldn't sleep either. And I also had a little boy that had asthma. So he was suffering from croup all the time. So all those nights in the shower trying to help him. But my friend saw that we were, one, not getting sleep, and we were suffering, being sick all the time. And she told me about Juice Plus. And so before I put my daughter on it, because she had all these sensitivities, I actually took this research to doctors that I knew. I didn't know Valerie at the time. I wish I would have. But I'm like, would you give this to your kid? And they're like, Celine, this is amazing. Not only should you give this to your kid, but we want this for our family. So I am so glad that we've been on Juice Plus for 15 years. My daughter no longer has any eczema. Her eczema was gone within about 6 to 8 months. My son no longer has asthma, so no inhalers anymore, no allergy meds. And I'm 45 years old, and I can tell you I feel more vibrant and more healthy than I ever did in my 20s and 30s. I don't have that afternoon slump. I just feel really good and healthy, and that really makes me passionate about our mission of inspiring healthy living.
And, you know, I was lucky enough that Celine was bringing her children to me after she had had such a great experience with her daughter getting better with her eczema. But still there were kind of frequent flyers, and all of a sudden I hadn't seen them in a long time. And really that was the point that she put them on Juice Plus. So they went from being frequent flyers in the office every month to, it had been a year since I'd seen them. And so I said, wow, you must be doing something right if you're not going to another pediatrician maybe. But she said, no, ever since I put them on this stuff called Juice Plus, they hardly ever get sick anymore. Can I give you some information? Because she was really excited about it. And of course, I'm listening to it on the background of everybody's trying to sell something. Everybody's, best thing since sliced bread, all of that. I was pretty negative about supplements at this point because there was a lot of trash out there. But it was intriguing if that was true. And it was intriguing if it was true that it was only fruits and vegetables. It wasn't even a vitamin, that there might be some really good effects. And so she asked me, this was the great question that she said, can I leave you the scientific research packet? Well, nobody has a scientific research packet. So I was like, yeah, you can bring me that. That'd be great. And this was 13 years ago, you guys. She brought me the research packet, and it literally took me 4 months to look at it because I put it on the pile and it got buried, and I kind of just didn't think it was that big of a priority. But finally, I realized she wasn't going to stop calling. She wasn't going to stop being persistent, and I should just read the packet and maybe I could get rid of her. And then I read the packet, and I found that as a physician, I'm pretty skeptical about science. I'm very careful about it. We're careful about anything in a capsule that somebody swallows that might interact with their medications or whatnot. And what I found was really good science that was very intriguing about all different kinds of parts of your body's system that significantly worked better just by taking Juice Plus versus placebo. So these were well done studies even back then. And as you saw in that last slide, there are actually 35 plus studies now when there were only 13 or 14 13 years ago. So there's a real commitment on this company's part to the science done at institutions that they have no connection with. They have no power to stop them from publishing a negative study, for example. And there's not a negative study on Juice Plus. Everything shows improvement. So if you're a science geek like me and Celine, you can find all that information online, and we'll show you how to get there. But once I decided that I thought Juice Plus was kind of intriguing, I decided to give it to my family. And I have a husband and a daughter who at the time was 9. And I thought, my husband needs this because he doesn't eat enough fruits and vegetables. In fact, he'll avoid them at all costs if he can, and this will give him that foundation of that, all that stuff he's missing. And our daughter too, it was the same thing. So for me, I thought, I eat pretty healthy. I'm probably not going to notice anything, but I'll be a good example. And what I found was, for me, I started sleeping better. I had more energy. I didn't realize how poorly I was sleeping, how stressed I was, how low my energy was until I started taking Juice Plus. And I found out how much better I could feel. And what really mattered to me for my own health was that I know from the science that I'm actually protecting my genes from the diseases that I'm prone to inherit in my family, like heart disease and cancer and stroke and Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. I pretty much got it all in my family. And this way I'm going to give myself the best chance of not turning those genes on. That's one thing that we know from science now. So super cool. But the neatest thing was, I always say that our daughter, she hardly ever got sick after that. I didn't realize she was chronically snotty. I have to get up from the table to go blow her nose 3 or 4 times with dinner every night. And until she started taking Juice Plus, and about 3 weeks later, I asked my husband, when's the last time we asked her to go blow her nose? It just stopped. And I thought, well, that's interesting, but then it never came back. So I don't know what it was. I was trying everything to make that better, and the things that I even knew holistically weren't making her better. So I could go on, and we could go on and tell stories all night, couldn't we, Celine? But we want to show you a video. So give me a second, and I'll share my screen, and we'll show you a video, and then we'll come back. Okay? Can y'all hear that?
It's very low. More.
And it's the most thoroughly researched nutritional name brand product on the planet. I'm a physical therapist, and so the science behind Juice Plus is important to me. But when you combine the science with what it's actually doing in people's lives, it's a no-brainer.
And that really helps me, because when you go into stores, there's shelves and shelves of product, and you don't even know what it is, if it's what's in the capsule or the tablet. You have no clue. With Juice Plus, you know. People want to know. People want to feel better. And they want something simple and doable and easy. And, we get so tired of all these diets and lifestyle plans that are so complicated with pages and pages you have to follow. And
you know, life is just crazy, busy, fast-paced world now, and so it's just nice to have an answer like Juice Plus where we can get something that's convenient and simple, because so many times we're just looking for a really fast fix, and you can get much faster than capsules and soft chews and getting it down quickly. So you don't have to worry about your kids not liking the taste, because there's no taste. You just swallow a capsule. So you don't have to worry about how am I going to prepare this or hide it or be all clever. It's just like take your Juice Plus. The fact that it's an easy, simple way for me to get this in my body every single day without thinking about it.
I don't know how much simpler it could get that they actually did the work for us, and I don't have to juice.
I don't always have time to chop and dice and slice and clean and all of that. So Juice Plus is a lifesaver.
Where can you go in life and get that? I go to bed every night and go, thank you.
All right. Thank you for playing that video.
Yes, and I'll turn the...
Hello there. My name is Dr. Jean Roberto. I'm a family physician in Springfield, Ohio, and I've been practicing for over...
We're just going to play 10 videos. Just kidding. Just kidding.
That's a great video, though, if you want to watch it. Okay, there you go, Celine.
All right, so you guys have seen a lot of information. So where do you see yourself getting started? I feel that Juice Plus is extremely affordable. It's actually saved my family money. We don't pay co-pays anymore. We don't pay for medications, thank goodness. We're healthy, and I'll tell you, like I said, being healthy is a priceless gift. But a lot of people, some people decided they just want to start on the complete shakes, and that's totally fine. Some people do 1 shake a day, some people do 2. The Juice Plus Trio is all 3 blends. So you saw all the fruits, the vegetables, and the berry blend. And then some people want to do something called Shred 10, which we're going to talk a little bit about later. But it is actually doing the trio and then doing 1 or 2 shakes per day, preferably 2 shakes per day. And we're going to talk a little about kids actually eat Juice Plus for free. And that should be the next slide here. Our company loves children. We are a mission-driven company who wants to inspire healthy living throughout the world. But children are such a focus of ours because they are the health of the future. And our company actually gives Juice Plus free to any child between the ages of 4 years old, through full-time college student. So if one adult is taking Juice Plus, it could be an aunt, an uncle, it could be your neighbor. It doesn't matter. They can sponsor 1 child on the Juice Plus Children's Health Study for free. This Children's Health Study is not a study where you have to take your child to get any blood or anything. We send you a survey and we ask the parent or the adult about the changes they've seen in their health, and then we also ask questions about the child. And what we've noticed in the Children's Health Study is that 56% of children that are on Juice Plus were taking fewer over-the-counter drugs and prescription drugs. 71% were consuming less fast food and soft drinks. And what I love, 96% of the kids were reaping some positive benefit of taking Juice Plus. And 89% were more aware of their health. And those are really important.
I love that this is only after 1 year, because you can get Juice Plus for free for 4 years with your child, and those numbers just keep going up.
That's awesome. And we like the fact that 60% of kids are missing fewer days of school. So that, again, I tell people it's a cost saving when you don't have to miss work and stay home with your kids. So we'll go on to the next slide. So I just talked about Shred 10. So what exactly is Shred 10? Shred 10 is literally shredding the food, toxin, and habits that are not serving you. It's a 10-day challenge where you give up gluten, you give up dairy, give up wine, ladies, a little bit of alcohol, you give them up. You can do anything for 10 days. And then you take your Juice Plus and then you substitute 1 or 2 meals a day with the shake. And I will tell you what we've been seeing with this, literally it's 10 days, but people feel so good in 10 days that they decide they don't want to go back to those bad habits. And I have seen so many changes in women and men in the last couple of months. We really started doing this in January. And just even myself, it's like this brain fog. It's just amazing when you start following different kinds of, like shredding those bad habits, and you don't realize gluten has such an effect on people. So I really encourage everybody on here to give yourself 10 days. You deserve it to change your life and kind of jumpstart your health. And what I love about everything that we do is that we're a healthy living community, meaning that we have an actual cookbook that's free for everyone, recipes that all of us have tried out ourselves, so I promise they're children friendly and they actually taste good and are healthy. We have a Healthy Living Ambassadors Children's Program. There's actually little sheets in there that teach your kids about healthy living, and there's monthly inspirations, and we also have a private Facebook group. And that is actually an awesome group where if you don't know what to cook for dinner, you can get on there. It's a bunch of people sharing healthy living. They're sharing recipes. They're sharing inspiration and motivation. And I just love it. And then we also are doing live and online educational events like this one tonight. Actually, on Sunday, Dr. Miles and I are having a party at my house where it's going to be the taste of the shred. So we're going to be making recipes from this cookbook and having people just come over and try them and see how good healthy really tastes. And so our experience is when you have a community that's really positive, and as you guys know on Facebook, there's so much negative stuff. So it's nice to be part of something that is so positive and just enlightening. And it's actually doing something that improves your life rather than depressing you. And if you want to go and get that cookbook, all you need to do is go to www.healthylivingrevolution.com and you can download that recipe book. So tonight we have shared a great deal of information with you guys, and I'm hoping that you learned something, even just one thing today that you're going to take forward in your health, because we all start at a different part in our journey, and it's okay. You can do one little thing, and we call it one simple change, and I will tell you that one simple change will make such a difference in your life. And I can tell you, Valerie and I have definitely decided that this is our mission that we want to go on. We know we're just two people that want to talk to thousands and thousands of people. So I would love Valerie to take a minute and just talk to us about why she chose to take this mission on and actually join me in doing this. You're muted. Hold on.
You guys heard my passion before where, really keeping people healthy is kind of my life's work. And when it took a couple of years for me as a skeptical doctor, but when I really saw the changes in my patients and my own family and my friends that I was recommending Juice Plus to if they had any kind of an issue or a worry, I just couldn't believe how well just fruits and vegetables could work for the body. And so I feel like while beforehand I felt like it was kind of unethical to share a supplement with my patients, now I feel like it's unethical not to share Juice Plus with all the science that's behind it, because it's not a fly-by-night. It really works, and it's proven by science. So that's all I really needed. And I'm telling you, I really love this community. The people that are representatives for Juice Plus who just maybe want to do a little where they share with their family or their friends because they care, the people they care about, or want to share a lot, where they just want to have a real ripple effect. That's my favorite hashtag, ripple effect across the country to change this nation's health. It doesn't matter. You have a place, nobody's ever going to limit you, but I love being around this tribe of people that care about that. So I just love seeing all your faces and growing this group of people that really care about that and share, and don't worry about whether people, like tonight, we don't worry about whether you're going to buy Juice Plus. It's not about selling Juice Plus. It's about this healthy living revolution. And that's what's going to change the face of health in America. And it's going to come from grassroots. And so that's for me what really did it. But I'll tell you on a personal note, because I was having so much fun kind of with this tribe and sharing with people and going to events and having fun with Celine, on the side, I have a full-time, I run my own practice. I own my own practice. It's incredibly busy, incredibly stressful. But I was having fun on the side doing this. And then 2008 came when the stock market crashed and the real estate market crashed, and my husband's job was just gone like in 1 second. The family-owned company he was supposed to inherit, gone. And all our benefits, half our income, chokes me up still, just gone in one day with no warning. And that can happen to any of us at any time. And the fact that I had built this side income with Juice Plus, really just having fun, it saved us. It saved our house. It saved our cars. It saved my husband from having to get a corporate job right away where he would have been traveling and gone from us for a long time. So he was able to be a stay-at-home working dad through our daughter's middle school and high school years, which was absolutely priceless. And that was all because of this business. So I'm a big fan. You never know when something's going to happen like that.
That's right. And I'm a big fan. Obviously, I had to share Juice Plus with everybody I knew because I was so excited and blessed that my daughter was doing so well and my son, and just seeing the changes in her health. And for me in the beginning, I'm a nurse. I'm not a business person. So I always tell people it was really like my husband at the time was making really good money. So it was kind of my extra shoe money. I would call it my little money I could spend on whatever I wanted to spend. And then after 18 years of marriage, I had an unexpected thing. My husband ended up leaving us. And I had no idea at the time that he had been spending lots of money and had left me barely with anything. So I was home with 2 children, young children, that were devastated to say the least. And I am so thankful for this business because how many single moms do you know never have to go back to work? I never had to go back to work. I got to be there with my kids to comfort them through a really difficult divorce. And I also had at the same time, talking about things come in 3s and 4s, my parents were both sick and I'm an only child. So I had to take care of my parents on top of 2 children. So I don't know what I would have done if I had a full-time job. I probably would have gone crazy. So I'm very thankful for this community and thankful for the income that I've made, because as a nurse, you kind of in your mind think about what the ceiling is in nursing. And there's no way I could ever work back in a hospital because I love the time freedom that I have. I have never missed a homeroom thing with my kids. I've never missed a birthday. I've never missed a sporting event. I'm there for everything. And I take my daughter to the bus stop every morning and I pick her up. So those things to me are really important. And then there's some selfish things that I've had in my life. I've wanted to go to Europe. I've gone now twice and gone to places I only dreamt of. So I really see the financial freedom that this can give people. And for me, I'm a very powerful woman that loves to mentor other women. And an extra $500 a month for some people is a lifesaver. Like Valerie was saying, would I have ever thought that a doctor would need this income to save her house? No, I wouldn't have. So I'm very equally passionate about Juice Plus, and I'm equally passionate about the opportunity. Both Valerie and I know people that make $1 million a year in Juice Plus, but our real passion is really to help families. If there's somebody that wants to make an extra $500 to, let's say $700 or $1,000 a month, we know it's a life changer, and we are just passionate. And if it's just you want to share with your friends and make a couple $100s a month, that's totally fine with us. It's whatever you want to do. So with anything in life, life is all about choices. And that's my favorite quote. And tonight I want you to make a choice. You have 3 choices to make. Choice A is, I hope you guys learn something different. And timing is everything in life. So maybe this information is coming at a time that you're just not ready to change. And that's okay. We will always be here to support you. But I hope you did learn something new that maybe you can use in the future. Choice B is that you can actually flood your body with the nutrients that we've talked tonight. Become a customer, become part of this healthy living community, because we would love you to be a part of it. And we would love to hear the changes in your health, because that's what puts the fire underneath our hind knees to share and inspire other people. And then choice C is join our mission. We are always looking for other people that are passionate about health and that want to help people. We have teachers, we have mothers, we have fathers, we have stay-at-home moms. We have all kinds of people that are really wanting to take healthy back. And that makes me emotional to take healthy back. We want to make a change. We're looking around seeing these children that are very, very sick. They're on medications at 12 for cholesterol. So we want to make a difference. So if that's something that you would want to do and make a difference, please get a hold of the person that invited you tonight. And please thank that person, because it takes courage sometimes to invite people to a presentation, but they do care about you and your health, and they want you to be part of this mission. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. And we will have another one of these really soon. So if you saw something tonight and you want your friends to see it, please get a hold of that person and let them know, and we will send out an invitation to you right away. So thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.